Hi, welcome to Mystic Moons. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. We're continuing our investigation into the assassination attempt on former President Trump. As we all know, there are many different conflicting stories and assessments. Right now, there's a U.S. congressional investigation going on. Now, the one shooter theory is strongly advocated by the CIA and the FBI. Could be it's very strange. They're insisting upon this 20-year-old crooks did it. A 20-year-old boy man who was 20 years old. And he concluded this grave offense by himself. And there's a lot of peculiar angles to Cooks, this young child. He was once in a commercial with BlackRock. All right, that's pretty coincidental. He was also a $15 supporter of Biden's past campaign. All right, that's $15 is not skin in the game. And the point is, there's been independent investigations going on that they found based on sound of the bullets that they were different frequencies, different types of sound. Now, if you're going to talk, any type of sound usually is consistent if it's coming from the same source. Now, when you have 2 or 3 different sources, that means that there is 2 or 3 different people, doesn't it? However, the FBI and the CIA say no, they continue to print lone shooter. Now, the whole thing about the word shooter, not shooters, but shooter. Shooter is a slang word in the English language, the American English language, for especially in the arena of sports, wrestling, boxing. A shooter is a person who throws down, which means they already made an agreement to lose, to throw the fight, throw the game, and for financial gain. Somebody gives them a whole bunch of, dinero, dollars, and they decide it's more important for me to have that money than to have a fair game. That's what a shooter means. So that could also be a code word, shooter. In fact, even in the Republican convention, you had Hulk Hogan, who, first of all, he's a wrestler, a world famous wrestler. And he made 2 appearances, and he was dressed once in his wrestling garb, fashion. So, reminding everybody that the word shooter was, from its origins, the boxing, wrestling, throw the game. So that was like a hint, or what's above, what's below. A lot of people do things and they can't help but brag what they do. Or that they believe that we know that it was a thing for money. It was an intentional scam hit. It was a setup. But the point is, who set it up? That's the whole thing. Who set it up? And who's the narrative being one shooter, not shooters. And they also make a play lately of putting gunman, 20-year-old gunman instead of shooter. Also, too, at the same time, that we must make note that the day of the assassination, we also had in Bohemian Grove, we had the cremation of care. And you could go look up Bohemian Grove and the cremation of Care, which a whole bunch of trillionaires get together for a little retreat into the woods. And they have parties and stuff like that. And they also burn a human effigy, which is called Care. It's like, I did all these things and my sins are absolved by the burning of this human effigy called Care. I don't care because Care goes up in flames. Just a nice, interesting point of that day. Also, unfortunately, on that day, besides that theater, there was a refugee in Gaza camp that was obliterated. Not nice. Inhuman. So we have those things happening the same time we have Trump's assassination attempt. All right, so now we're going to find out. The question at hand right now is, was there more than one shooter? All right, we'll take 3 cards or 4, we'll see. Was Trump's assassination multiple shooters, multiple weapons? Is the lone gunman theory a ploy? Let's take one more. 4. All right, let's see. We have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands. Oh, the Queen of Wands. Which is quite capable of hatching a plot, per se. Say that. And then we have the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles. Flirting. 2 high-level cards so far. The Queen of Wands and the King of Pentacles. And we have this card again. The 7 of Wands. Do battle. Agitation. Multitudes. More than one. And we have the struggle. We have the 10 of Wands. So it could be with the King of Pentacles. We could have, it was a directive, there was an organization team. There was an organization team with the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. We have a very agitated group that were assembled by high-level operatives. But these are 2 operatives, 2 groups of the event, 2 high-level operatives of the event. And let's go into the Queen of Wands. Let's see a little bit more information about the Queen of Wands. This Queen of Wands here, we have, let's take this one and let's do a little bit more shuffling. The Queen of Wands, that's almost as though that the King of Pentacles is the money person and the Queen of Wands is the planner and the connection point. The connection point, the connection between the money and the people involved. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. Under the Queen of Wands, we have the 10 of Swords. So she was getting her hitmen together. A group gathered together for the purpose of assassination. A group. And we have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups. This could also be the Patsy, the poor, unfortunate 20-year-old, unfortunate in terms of judgment and brevity of life. Of course, he went up there with full range, but was he programmed or not? Was he being directed by invisible something or other? We all know since the 40s, there was a scientist called Delgado who had apparatus connected to a bull, and he could bring on anger. He could bring on any information by simply triggering the device he inserted into the bull's brain. Quiet on this guy, right? Very quiet. But this person, the Queen of Wands, this is a nasty Queen of Wands with the 10 of Swords and the 8 of Cups. Nasty, nasty. Which means that one person was down cooks and the other ones got away. They were able to get away. It was carefully planned, directed by this operative. And let's look at this King of Pentacles. We could say that's the money person who is financing the whole operation. Who is this money person? Money, 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 money. Everything runs with dough, cash. All right. Money. Now, this money person, we have the 8 of Swords, the struggle, bound energy. There's no way out. He was tied in. He had to do it. And we have the 6 of Wands under this King of Pentacles. Well, obviously the person felt that they would be a hero if they pulled this off. They were doing a good deed, sick as it was, a good deed to keep information under wraps, to keep the King of Pentacles. So it just seems very orchestrated with the King of Pentacles being the hero and also being the prisoner at the same time. Bound and eulogized. Hallelujah and F you. Blasphemous. And the fact that we have the King of Pentacles. Strange. All these cards connected with the assassination attempt on Donald Trump have a certain seesaw, in and out, black and white, pro and con. But this one, the Queen of Wands, she had her mission to do, to get these knaves together, have the patsy, and then disappear. And everything is being, with the closed mouth, one shooter, this 20-year-old misguided individual. Don't believe it. Case closed. And another thing too, you have to imagine, not even imagine, you have to know, why was he shot in the head? Don't you take your only information to something controversial? You keep it alive until you can get information out of it? Why was his head blown off? Not blown off, but we've seen shots of him. He was shot in the head, through the mouth cavity. Perhaps he had some sort of homing device in that mouth. Dental work is known to do that. All right. It doesn't make sense that they would obliterate the only link of being this Crooks guy, not Crooks, that would be able to tell yes or no, yay or nay, or what was what. You could have anything there. Ever since, there are drugs that you could use on a suspect to find out, make them talk. I mean, we've had seen movies for like decades about sodium something or other. Something. There's you can go look it up and find out. Anyone can. Now let's look at this strife again. This seven. No, let's first of all let's look at this 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands. What does this comprise of? The 10 of Wands and the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, or the secrets of why they keep the more than one shooter down, alive. Now, let's keep. What is this 10 of Wands? 10 of Wands. Take these two. 10 of Wands. Healing. Despair. We have this Star card again. And obviously, if you just focus on one shooter, one person, one lone crazy boy man doing all this, it would be best. It would keep the attention from the others involved. And then they would be able to keep it. It's a struggle right now to keep it quiet, to keep it contained, because the people are not buying this crooks person who somehow learned to be an expert marksman, an expert bomb maker, an expert everything at the age of 20. Right? It's hard to believe. I didn't know he was a genius. I didn't know he was incredibly motor skilled, blessed. I don't know. There's many mysteries. All right, and now we see that it's very hard to keep that lone gunman theory alive. Very, very, very. And it is a battle that is crumbling. I would say it's crumbling. Right now, the agency has had the FBI and the CIA do your job. But why is this distraction? So why are we even having this discussion? Why aren't the people doing their job? What is the distraction necessary? Why is this going on? Chaos? Chaos Queen, Chaos King, Chaos Kingdom. Now we see here. Under this 8 of Wands, we have two cards. Let's see. The High Priestess. The High Priestess. This could have been the FBI director that was ousted. Blame it on the woman. Blame it on the woman. It's always. And we have this Temperance. Well, there's trickle down information in the whole process to keep things quiet and contained. Saving face. Saving face. There's a lot of receptivity, and I wouldn't take this as a person, but how are the agencies and these groups are felt and received by people, by the masses, by the population, by the people they're supposed to serve. So lots of receptivity, lots of you care what the neighbors think type of things, or like keeping up appearances. I would take all these feminine, the High Priestess and the Queen of Wands is keeping up appearances. Public relations matters. And we have we have a ship that is revealing itself slowly. We have the truth coming out slowly. Will we ever know? Yes, we will know. And there were more than one shooter. It's obvious. There were more than one shooter. With this whole theory, ten of swords, eight of cups, I say there's a lot of game in this. And I don't mean like checkers or chess or more like hunting, Hunger games. Those are not like child games. Those are not. These are adult misreads, mishaps, misconstrued. Yes, there is a lot of reason to try and keep the chaos together, but it is hard to do. It's hard to keep up the one shooter myth. One shooter myth is fantasy. A community college graduate, 2 years at a high school. Yes, you could say was an angry person. Not capable of, and why? There's too many things. There's too many things. Up on the roof, people saw it wasn't said. Stand down, wait. There's a plot going on that's falling. The narrative is a story that's falling apart. So I say yes, it's perfectly obvious there were more than one shooter, multiple shooters, as concurred by independent investigations. And I would say that what's being done right now is just a ploy to buy time. But buying that time increases the suspicious nature of everything. It would be better to come clean. All right, so that's my reading. And if you're subscribers, thank you for joining. If you have any comments, please please add on to your comments to this question, to this mystery. Let us solve this together. And thank you for joining me in this. And it's an ongoing discussion. Ongoing until it's released. The truth shall set you free. Thank you very much.